Hello and welcome to this NCFE Top Tips Reading for English Functional Skills. This is a short video which covers some of the main issues that learners face when they are completing the reading assessment and things to be aware of. So firstly, wording of questions. So make sure you read the question carefully and pay attention to the wording of the question. Quite often misreading and misunderstanding the question. So, for example, it might be asking about the content rather than the purpose. So, be careful that you are looking at what it's asking you to do. Make sure you use the text to answer questions. So, use the source documents. Remember, it's a test of your reading skills. So, you must make sure that the answer is taken from the documents rather than from your own ideas or experience. Don't use general or assumed knowledge to answer questions, and you should be looking at those source documents and taking your ideas from them. Be aware of mark allocations. So look at how many marks a question is worth and provide sufficient information accordingly. So if an answer is worth 3 marks, for example, examiners are likely to be looking for 3 separate points and more detail will be needed. If it was a 1 mark, then it's a short answer. Multiple choice. So read the wording of multiple choice questions carefully. Candidates may be asked to choose more than one response, and if it is only one, if you circle more than one, you will not be awarded. So if one answer is required and you circle two, then it's likely that the mark will not be awarded. Writing about writer's style is often an area that confuses learners. So things to think about when you're asked about a writer's style is the text type, the audience, the purpose, and the formality and tone. So your answers should be limited to the purpose. So, for example, to advise about X, to persuade about Y, to advertise. Looking at understanding the audience. Who is the text aimed at? How do you know? The formality in tone and register. Is the article biased? Is it formal, informal, semi formal? Is it sarcastic, fun, genuine, or serious? So they are just some areas to look at when you're writing about writer's style. So make sure you complete all the paper. So candidates need to answer all the questions to give yourself the best chance of success. So look at time management, practice the exams. Next, language features. This is another area that often throws learners. So some questions require candidates to identify language features, which may include bias, persuasion, or humour. Make sure that you're fully aware of the terms before you sit the paper so that you have the knowledge you need to answer the question. And there's a short activity on the screen for you to have a look at and have a go. So what you would need to do is match those words down the side in purple. So imagery, formal, informal, and you'd match them with the description just to help you make sure that you know what each of those mean. Often candidates mix up language and organizational presentational features. So a tip to remember, language is to do with words and what's actually written, and the organization, or sometimes known as presentational features, are about how a text is set out, such as the term organization, how it's presented, the layout, the headings, the columns, the bullet points. Take care with comparison questions. What are you being asked to compare? How many source documents does it say, and which ones? Remember, read the question carefully. An example of how you can do this is on the screen. So step 1, read the text carefully. Step 2, read the first paragraph of the second text. Is it similar to what the other text was? Step 3, go back to find out whether it says something similar or different. And then step 4, read the other paragraphs in the second text and repeat each. So that's a very short video on top tips for reading. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you.